Hi everybody. I want to give an actual real example. This is a beautiful, perfectly executed example of loaded questions, how to counteract them, and how to ask them. This is not a political video. It's political footage. This is during a politically divisive time. Where the government is currently shut down by President Trump over border wall funding. This is 1 or 2 days after he made a public address, reading off a teleprompter, oh so eloquently, about border security, why we need a border wall, etc. He gave a follow-up press conference, and that's what this footage is from. At the very end, pay attention here, and it's like I said, this is politics are divisive. I'm not encouraging political discussion here. Please leave that out of the comments so I don't have to disable comments. I want to have healthy dialogue with everybody on this. Okay? So, at the very end of this session, a reporter asks Trump an obviously loaded question. And you can see Trump immediately recognizes the fact that it is a loaded question. And what you'll see is that where the journalist was attempting to catch Trump in a loaded question, Trump immediately stepped out of the ground zero and put the journalist in ground zero. So let me sort of explain this. A loaded question is when you ask somebody a question, it's typically a yes or no question. But it's the type of question for which there is no correct answer. So for example, asking somebody who they voted for is a loaded question, especially currently when the last election we had to choose between Trump and Hillary. We all know that there's no real right answer there, right? So that's an example of a loaded question. The reporter asks a loaded question to President Trump. And what Trump does, and this is something that he does a lot, whenever there is a tough question asked of him for which there's not a good answer, he's very good at sidestepping it and putting somebody else in as the target. And in this case, he sidesteps and puts the journalist who asked the loaded question directly into the line of fire of his own question. So it's literally Trump took the question out of his hands and turned it around like a weapon and weaponized the question back against the reporter, and then did not give the reporter a chance to sidestep back. So he very aggressively hijacks the question. He very aggressively points it right back at the journalist. And then if you watch the way Trump controls the conversation through interruption, and through a number of other well-known debate tactics, keeps the focus strictly on whether or not this journalist would do exactly what he asked of Trump. And as you'll see, it works very well because the reporter tries to wiggle his way out of it because he wasn't expecting to be caught in his own question. And Trump just absolutely goes on the attack. And then the last thing I will mention before we get to watch this video, at the very end, watch exactly how Trump comes to a conclusion without saying anything conclusively. He basically says, well, because if you would do this, you would never get anything done. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. So Trump gets the last word in, then cuts everybody off, and that's the end of all the speaking. And so that is the strategy that was used here. So again, a loaded question is asked, the question is hijacked, pointed back at the original, I guess, asker of the question, points it back at it, and then actively keeps focus in the room on whether or not this person would do what they said. And then at the end gets in the last word and shuts down dialogue. So have a look. this is a beautiful, beautiful example of how loaded questions work, how loaded questions can be reversed, and how they can be escaped. This is masterful work at avoiding a tough, loaded question.
Or in the other bills, though, so some of these workers can get paid, the government.
You think I should do that? No, do you think I should do that, John?
I mean, it's not for me.
I mean, I watch your one-sided reporting. Do you think I should do that? Hey, John. No, seriously, John, do you think I should just sign?
Well, the argument
No,
is...
tell me.
Sign these bills that have nothing to do with
John,
border
do you think I
security.
should just sign?
I'm saying that if you sign that, these workers can start getting paid, the government can
So
start...
you would do that if you were in my position, you'd do that?
I'm not in your position. I'm asking you if that's something you
I'm
want.
asking you, would you do that if you were in my position? Because if you would do that, you should never be in this position. Because you'd never get anything done. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, now, all things about whether or not we should have a president that acts this way or says things like this, whether or not he's awesome for this or deplorable for this, keep those opinions to yourself, please. That's not what this is about. What I want to illustrate, though, did you notice what he did? As soon as he recognized it was a loaded question, he starts by saying, is that what you think I should do? Is that what you think I should do? Is that what you think I should do? Do you think I should do that? Is that what you think? Is that what you think? Should I do this? Right? Now, the reason I bring this up is because whenever you're with a manipulator and they love to use loaded questions against you, if you recognize the fact that they always ask loaded questions, you can use this to put it right back on them. It's this very, very simple, very effective strategy. Even the president or current president used it effectively in that clip. So in a previous video, I used the example of the loaded question of a woman asking her boyfriend or husband, do these pants make my butt look big? Put it right back on. It's like, well, do you want me to tell you it's big? Is that what you want? You want me to tell you your butt looks big? Is that what I should say? Do you want me to say that? Or you say, oh, do you want me to tell you your butt looks great? Is that what I should tell you? I don't actually recommend answering that specific question in that manner. I'm just tying back to the previous example. But when you're with somebody who is constantly asking you loaded questions for which there's not a, quote, correct answer, what you can do is put it on them to force them to answer their own question. And what you'll find is if they can't answer their own question or refuse to answer their own question, that means that it was a loaded question to begin with, right? Now, if they do, if they respond positively, well, then it wasn't loaded, right? So it still works. It's a win-win for you, right? Do these pants make my butt look big? Is that what you want me to tell you? It's like, well, I think my butt's gotten bigger, so I was just wanting to confirm with somebody if my butt's bigger, right? No, well, sort of. I don't know. I'd have to compare it to a previous version of your butt, right? It does. What you think is a loaded question may not actually be a loaded question. It just might be a tough question, or something for which you haven't thought of, right? But you can always answer a question with a question if you do it correctly. If you say, do you want me to tell you yes? Is that what you want? You want me to tell you your butt's big? You want me to tell you your butt's small? Should I tell you that your butt is small? Should I give you my honest opinion? Do you want to sit down and talk about remedial tactics and methodologies we can use to reshape your ass? What is it? What are we going for here, right? And that's a very, very good direction to take. What are we going for? So it's like, so what is the purpose of this question? I recognize this is a loaded question. It is a tough question. What is the purpose? What is the overall goal? What are we going for here? Are we solving a problem? Are you asking my opinion? Are you just trying to confirm something that you feel you know in your own head and you're wondering if maybe you're doubting yourself? let's discuss the existence of the question to begin with. And then, once we determine why this question exists, then we can talk about it. So, anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Please like, comment, or share. Do please keep the comments civil. I don't want to have to shut down comments on a video. I just think that this is by far the most visible and most succinct execution of handling loaded questions that I've seen in recent days. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.